Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel, and this is your tip of the week. This is a fall table runner that I started making a few years ago and I just never had time to finish it. So I'm going to give you some suggestions on how to dress up your holiday table runners, or really you can use these ideas for any time of the year. I like to usually make my table runners one solid piece of fabric. It's the easiest and quickest for me to make. I sometimes do other types, but this is my favorite type to do. To add a little interest to the table runner, I'll sometimes cut out another piece of fabric that complements the large piece of fabric and stitch it on top and then finish it off. Now, this seam doesn't look bad like it is right now, but let me show you a few things you can do to dress up this area right here. So you could take another strip of fabric. I often like to use ribbon trims or other types of trims. Make sure when you select a trim that it can be washable if you're going to be washing your table runners. My table runners, I don't let food get on it, but if you're going to have food on it, then you want to make sure that everything you have is washable. So here's some kind of a burlap style decorative ribbon. I'm going to lay it over this seam and then stitch close to the edge all the way across. Then I'll take another decorative trim. This is kind of a metallic gold. Lay it in the center and stitch on both sides. And you can see that adds a lot of interest to each end of the table runner. I like 1-inch wide rickrack, and you can get this on Etsy.com, you can go on Amazon.com, and some of your fabric stores will sell it also. So this is another idea. Just lay it right over that seam, and then on this extra wide rickrack you would need to stitch close to the edge on each side. If any of my fabric that I'm using has a lot of metallic in it, whether it's a metallic silver or a metallic gold, you can also use metallic rickrack. Here is an example of another table runner I did. This was for a young girl's bedroom. I put the ribbon over it, stitched it down on one side, left the other side unstitched, and pushed this beaded trim inside. On your beaded trim, let's see if I have a sample here. Yes, I do. It has a little ribbon band across here. So this ribbon band, you would insert it underneath and then stitch along here. And I would put your zipper foot on when you go to stitch near your beaded trim, because this way you can, if you try to use a regular presser foot, you're not going to be able to get close to this seam here. Sometimes on a table runner, I will take rickrack, whether it's metallic or the narrow rickrack that's about 1/2 inch wide. I will use that and I will place it at a diagonal. And then I'll stitch right down the center of the rickrack. If you want a lattice look, like up here, first put it all going like this way here, and then put it across like this. So you would first stitch it down going this way, then lay your other rickrack on top and stitch it down that way. You can even put tassel fringe on each end of the table runner. Sometimes I like to make a super long table runner where it hangs over the edge, and I'll usually do that for a little side table somewhere where I want a more dramatic look. Like I have a small table near my front door, I'll put it there like that, and this way the fringe dangles down. Now remember the beaded trim? You can also do that with your beaded trim. You can get decorative tassel fringe. You can get large and small. and make a pointed table runner and put a tassel at each end of it also. On this table runner, I don't know how clearly you can see it, but I do have decorative quilting stitches because on some of my table runners, I will have cotton batting in it. I don't do it on all of mine, but there are many that I do. So here is where you can see the stitches. And so I will often do mine on a diagonal pattern because if you're messing it up a little bit, it's sometimes hard to visually notice that you've made a mess out of it. So doing a straight stitch pattern, I usually recommend for people who are highly skilled at quilting stitches, but if you're a beginner, take that serpentine stitch that's on your machine. It's a squiggly line. You can lengthen that stitch to get a longer curvy line and use that as your quilting stitches to give your table runner more decorative appeal. So here are stitch patterns that I will do. I do a straight stitch pattern when it's a small project, maybe a pillow, I'll do it on there. I also like to do a straight stitch on a diagonal. And then of course here's that serpentine stitch that's on a diagonal. And again, this is what it looks like on a diagonal. But you can also use the serpentine stitch on straight lines. This is a slip cover for a pillow. So when you're going to make a slip cover, you lay two pieces of fabric out, overlap them at, I'd say, about 4 inches. So overlap the two pieces, have this more towards the center, and then cut your square out or rectangle, whatever shape you're cutting out. That way you know you have enough to overlap. On the front, I have a different fabric than I have on the back. So you can do that. They don't have to match. But one of the things I want you to notice is the corners. So on this one, I don't have any cotton batting in it to help make those corners feel more substantial. So if you want your pillow to look very professional, it's a good idea to put cotton batting in it. So here is a pillow that I made for my husband. He likes to put his iPad on it. So inside is a really old pillow. It's dirty and grungy, but I used it for my pillow form. But on it, I wanted something that was washable. So this is washable fabric. It's cotton quilting fabric. So on the inside, I have cotton batting attached to the top fabric. So you layer your fabrics just like you were going to make a quilt and do your quilting stitches on it. And here, the corners are not floppy at all. It feels like there's padding all the way through. And this is what it looks like on the front. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tip of the week and that you've learned something new. If you're interested in other tips of the week and other sewing projects, make sure you scroll down below your YouTube screen. Go to the description section. When you see the word more, click on it, and that description section will expand open and you will see a variety of links appearing. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram to keep up with what I'm working on, and also make sure you go and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl, this is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.